The worst part about being hunted by the FIB is that you never know when it actually starts. There's no dramatic moment, no agents crashing through windows, no helicopters above your house. At first, it's just a feeling, a strange silence after a phone call, a car parked outside too long, a friend suddenly acting different. And deep down, you already know. Something went wrong. Maybe you said too much. Maybe somebody else got caught. Maybe your name ended up somewhere it shouldn't have. But once the thought enters your head, it never leaves. They're watching me. At first, you try to ignore it. You convince yourself you're paranoid. You tell yourself it's stress, lack of sleep, too much overthinking. But then, small things begin adding up. A stranger looks at you too long in a gas station. Someone asks weird questions. Your internet cuts out for a second during a call. And suddenly your normal life doesn't feel normal anymore. It feels staged, like the world around you already knows something you don't. That's when fear becomes routine. You stop relaxing. You stop sleeping properly. Every sound outside your apartment feels important. Every knock at the door makes your stomach tighten. And the crazy thing is, nothing has even happened yet. That's what breaks people, not action, anticipation, the waiting. Because your imagination becomes more dangerous than reality. You begin replaying every decision you've made over the last few weeks, every conversation, every text message, every person you trusted. Your brain starts connecting dots whether they exist or not. And eventually paranoia changes you. You stop going out as much. You stop posting online. You start studying every face around you like your life depends on it. And maybe it does. Days pass. The pressure grows heavier. Then one night you notice the same dark SUV parked across the street again. Third night in a row, engine off, lights out, just sitting there, watching. Your heart starts pounding instantly. But here's the thing most people get wrong in situations like this. Panic is what destroys you. Because panic makes you loud, predictable, desperate, and desperation creates mistakes. So instead of running outside or packing your bags, you do the hardest thing possible. You stay still. You breathe. You force yourself to think clearly. Because once fear takes over your mind, you've already lost. The next morning, the SUV is gone. And somehow that feels even worse. Because now you don't know whether it was real or whether your brain is turning against you. That uncertainty becomes poison. You start noticing patterns everywhere. The same man in a coffee shop, the same jacket on the subway, the same face passing twice in one day. You know it sounds irrational, but fear doesn't care about logic. Fear only cares about survival, and survival changes how you see the world. Even ordinary people begin looking suspicious. Your own apartment stops feeling safe. The walls feel thinner. The silence feels heavier. At night, you sit awake staring at the ceiling, wondering how your life became this. Because just weeks ago, everything felt normal. Now every second feels temporary. That's another thing nobody talks about. When you believe powerful people are watching you, time itself changes. Minutes feel longer. Conversations feel sharper. You start measuring risk in everything. Who can you trust? Who already knows? Who's pretending not to know? And eventually, you isolate yourself. Not because you want to, because your brain starts treating everyone like a threat. Your phone buzzes, you freeze instantly. Unknown number, you stare at it for several seconds before answering. Silence. Then the call ends. Your chest tightens. Now maybe it was spam, maybe it meant nothing. But your mind no longer accepts nothing. Everything feels connected now. That's how paranoia traps people. Not with proof, with possibility. Days later, you finally leave the apartment after hours of hesitation. The city feels different, not dangerous exactly, just colder, like every street corner hides eyes. You keep walking, trying to act normal, but inside your mind is chaos. Then you see them. Two men in dark jackets standing beside another black SUV. One of them glances toward you. Not long, not dramatically, just enough. And suddenly your entire body goes numb. You keep walking. Don't run, don't look back. That's all your brain repeats. Your heartbeat becomes deafening. You turn the corner, then another, then another. Finally, you stop behind an empty building and force yourself to breathe. For several seconds, the entire world feels silent. And then something terrifying happens. You realize you can't keep living like this. Because even if nobody is actually chasing you anymore, Your own mind is now doing the job for them. That realization changes everything. For the first time, you stop thinking about escape. You start thinking about consequences. Because deep down, you already know something important. You cannot outrun fear forever. Eventually it catches up. Eventually exhaustion wins. And when people become exhausted, they make reckless decisions. That's why the smartest move isn't acting tough. It isn't trying to disappear like in movies. It's staying calm enough to avoid destroying yourself. So slowly, you begin changing. Not your identity, not your appearance, your mindset. You stop feeding panic. You stop obsessively checking windows. You stop assuming every stranger is an undercover agent. And little by little, the noise in your head becomes quieter. Not gone, never gone, but quieter. Then one evening, everything changes again. There's a knock at your door. 3 slow knocks. Your entire body freezes. Every nightmare you imagine suddenly becomes real. For a moment, you can't move. The room feels smaller, the air feels thinner. Another knock. You walk toward the door carefully. Every step feels heavy. You look through the people, and standing there is your neighbor, holding a package delivered by mistake. That's it. Nothing dramatic. No agents, no raid, no weapons. Just a confused neighbor asking if the box belongs to you. And the second the door closes, you realize something horrifying. Fear has completely consumed your life. That's the true danger, not the chase itself, the transformation. The way paranoia slowly rewires your brain until every normal moment feels dangerous. You sit down in silence and think about the last few weeks. The sleepless nights, the panic, the isolation, the constant tension. And maybe some of it was real. Maybe some of it wasn't. But either way, it changed you. Because once you truly believe powerful people are watching you, you never see the world the same way again. You begin understanding how fragile normal life actually is. How quickly comfort disappears. How fast fear can take control. But here's the part nobody expects. You also become more aware, more observant, more careful. Not because you want to be, because survival forces clarity. And clarity changes people. Eventually, the black SUVs stop appearing. The strange calls stop. Life slowly begins looking normal again. But you're different now. You notice exits in every room. You notice suspicious behavior instantly. You notice tension in conversations other people completely miss. Part of you never fully leaves survival mode. And maybe that's the real ending to stories like this. Not capture, not escape, transformation. Because the scariest thing about being hunted isn't getting caught. It's realizing fear can become a prison long before anyone ever puts you in one. And once that happens, even freedom stops feeling free.